Good evening, everybody. My name is Kevin Haggerty, and tonight we are going to be talking about ISO, how it affects your camera's image, what ISOs you're going to want to use, and how far you can stretch that ISO before the image gets too deteriorated, before it becomes too quote-unquote noisy. So what is ISO? What is the word ISO? What does that abbreviation, that acronym mean for you when you're shooting film? So the definition of ISO is International Organization for Standardization. In photography and videography, it refers to the sensitivity of your camera's sensor to the light around it. So right now, we're shooting at around 11 p.m. I'm working with a very, very small cube light. We're gonna be working with a Canon R5C paired up with the RF 50mm f1.8. Very small lens, very wide aperture. So when you're shooting film at night and maybe even photos at night, it's really, really commonplace where you're gonna want that wider aperture. This camera specifically, and a lot of cinema cameras have what's called a dual base ISO. The Canon R5C has a base ISO of 800, and its second base ISO is 3200. So now with this dual base ISO, 800 is the base, secondary base is 3200. With the R6, the base ISO is 800. I've shot a number of weddings on the R6 with the f4 24-105, and I've used auto ISO in some cases, and it goes up, right? It's pushing up to, 5,000 ISO, 16,000 in certain lighting scenarios. The test we're doing here tonight is we're gonna take some sample footage of the street behind us. We're gonna take some footage of me walking in and out of frame. We're gonna go from base ISO to 800 to 3200 and jam it all the way up until we start to see that image really, really break apart. So right now we're shooting in C-Log 3, and we'll be editing this in DaVinci Resolve. So right now we're shooting at f1.8 on the Canon RF 50mm with the Canon R5C for the cam. We're shooting at base ISO of 800. Okay, so I'm gonna step back a little out of the frame to almost to the point where I can't see myself in the screen. I'm gonna step in just a little bit. I see it's trying to focus on me, and I'm not sure if it grabbed my focus there. Boom, boom. So we got focus. Now we're gonna take this up to 3200. Let's see the difference with this light here, not any brighter than it already is. We're gonna leave the light the same. Okay, so now you can really see a difference. We are still at f1.8 on the Canon R5C with that Canon RF 50mm f1.8, shooting wide open at f1.8. This is 3200 ISO. Look at the difference between these two shots. Let's step back out of the frame. I can see it's trying to grab focus on me. So right now I'm about 6.5 feet away from the camera. Let's go back to where we were. And what a difference. Now the light is set at 4,000 Kelvin. This is a $20 Ulanzi light, so it's not really the brightest, maybe I would say 100%, not even close to CRI. So let's now take this ISO up to the next step above, which should be either 4,000 or 6,400. Right now we're at 4,000 ISO with 4,000 Kelvin on the camera and a matched 4,000 Kelvin on our little cube light. Okay, so right now we're at 6,400 ISO. I haven't adjusted the aperture, and I haven't adjusted the Kelvin scale, and I haven't moved the light yet. And here's what I'm gonna try to do. We're gonna do this, we're gonna pull back out to the point where I can't see the little box trying to grab focus. We're gonna come in to right about here, pretty much the same spot where we were. What a difference ISO makes as far as brightening up that image. Okay, so now we've adjusted the cube light to a teal color. We've got a little bit of orange behind us from these halogen street lamps. We are still at 6,400 ISO. We're sitting at 4,000 Kelvin on the camera. Now let's start taking it back to ISO 800. Now we are sitting at 4,000 ISO. We're still at that teal colored kind of giving us that teal light in the background there from our cube light. We're sitting at 4,000 Kelvin on the camera, still f1.8, still wide open aperture. So now we're at 3200 ISO, same Kelvin, same aperture, back down to 800 ISO. We've got the cube light brought up. It's about 6 feet, 6.5 feet away from me. Prior to this 800 ISO, the cube light was roughly, 12 feet away. Okay, so now we've got this light set at a very kind of orangey look, super dark here still in this parking lot. This is 800 ISO with a f1.8. I'm gonna walk away from the camera, so let's do it. Let's take a few steps away. And as you can see the difference in the image. I mean, I'm sure from where I am now with the light that's around me or the lack of light, you can see how little of me you can actually see until I get very close to the camera itself. And now, even if it tries to hunt, we'll see if it'll find me. There it is. So now you can see it's blowing out the background. It's showing a little bit of me, but it's still very dark. So let's step it up to 3200. Let's get to the second base ISO on this camera. We're not gonna adjust anything. We're not gonna adjust our color temperature. We're gonna leave this light exactly where it is because I wanna see a good comparison compared to what we're looking at now to the 3200. Wow, what a difference. Now you can really see, you could see me, right? You could see a little bit more of the background. You can actually see me in the frame. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna take a few steps this way till we're basically out of the frame and see the difference of how much you can actually see as I'm going. Let's go. So I think I'm gonna go even further this time. I'm gonna go all the way down to this palm tree and you guys tell me what you see. Tell me what you're actually seeing there. Are you seeing anything? So right now I am, I'd say a good 50 feet. We're back at ISO 3200. I've got that ambient light behind us, whatever, the sodium light, the street light, the parking lot light. And this is a really good comparison. You can see how much more of the surroundings around me you can actually see. Now, keep in mind that it's, close to midnight right now. So it's very dark out, it's really quiet. Now let's pause this. Let's go back down to 800 with that light behind us and see what we see. Okay, so we're back to 800 ISO. You can barely see me. So let's get a couple of more comparisons with this. I'm gonna walk away, I'm gonna do about 10 paces. You guys tell me what you see. So maybe you have a little bit of a better view here because I'm under this light, I'm closer to this light. But without any sort of light source or without any sort of ISO being bumped up in your camera, it's gonna be very difficult to see that person, to see the scene that you're trying to light or the scene that you're trying to create. ISO can be your friend. It's definitely helpful in a lot of situations. We are still at f1.8 on the RF 50 millimeter. All right, so we're back. Let's do the 10 paces and let's see what it does. Come on. So I'll wave a little, maybe that will keep me in focus, right? So as you can plainly see, bumping up your ISO in certain conditions is an absolute must. It's going to help your video, it's going to help your photo. This is a great video example of a very dark evening showcasing what ISO actually does. Okay, so I'm very new to this field, 2.5 years tops. Transitioned into this, I went into that in a couple of videos ago on how I got into this and why I chose this. I love it, I absolutely love it. And what I'm trying to get at is don't be discouraged by people telling you, you need the next greatest thing. You need this camera. You need this camera because it's got the greatest ISO for low light. You need this because it's got a bigger sensor. At the end of the day, if your budget is constrained to the point where you only are able to shoot content on your phone, then shoot on your phone. No one is going to be judging you for that. And I started with the Canon T8i. I didn't jump right into an R6. I shot with that T8i for over a year. Used it, got the R6, stepped it up, got this one because I was having overheating issues. At the end of the day, just get out and practice. Just get out and have fun, create something that's your own, create something that's unique, and practice with different apertures, practice with different ISOs, practice with no light, practice with good lighting, maybe one light, two lights. You can accomplish pretty much any scene professionally on a job, at an office, outside with either one light or no light. I mean, if you're outside and you have the sunlight, you don't need a light. Maybe you need a flag to kind of cut some of that light down. And during a scene like this, is it recommended, is it preferred to have lighting? Absolutely. Lighting is gonna make a huge difference. But it also takes practice, right? Like, you can have all the greatest gear and all the greatest lighting, but if you don't get out and use it, you're not using it to its full advantage. So whatever you have, get out there and shoot some footage, create projects for yourself, and those little videos become bigger, and on and on. So if this video has helped you at all get a better understanding of ISO, hit the subscribe button, throw a comment down below, and give me your feedback on it. Again, this is a community. I'm looking to connect with all of the viewers here, all of the subscribers, all of the people that watch the channel. I do this because I'm so passionate about things in life. Anything that I've been passionate about, I go 100,000% hard, right? And that helps me, number one, see right away within a couple of weeks or months, hey, do I really want to continue doing this? Do I like this? And it also gives me the ability to grab those skills faster. And that's why I get out and practice. I'm not perfect at this. I want to get to that point, right? The more you do, the better you get. I've said it a bunch of times. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, my name is Kevin Haggerty. I'm a photographer and videographer and drone pilot, doing pretty much storytelling, cinematography, videography based here in the South Florida area. If there's anything that I can help you as far as, learning how to, stare at the camera better and be more friendly with the camera, if it comes down to drone content, I've got a cool couple of drone videos coming for everybody who's subscribed for the drone content, anybody who's tuning into this and sees that I have drone videos. I promise I've got some really, really awesome videos coming this week. So hang tight. It's been a while, I know. If you're here for video content, if you're here for photography content, you're in a great place. I really enjoy this. I have so much fun doing this, and you guys are why I do this. I did a couple of really fun photo shoots the past 2 weeks. I did 2 graduation shoots. I did a couple of model shoots. I did a product shoot, like a clothing brand shoot. And I'm just grinding. I'm grinding. I love doing this. It's 11:50 at night, nearly 12 o'clock. I've been up since 6. I was at a shoot this morning. I was editing this afternoon. I had an appointment in the afternoon. I come back from the appointment. It's 9 o'clock. I'm here trying to get this video done, trying to get some things dialed in for you guys. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. It's mind-blowing that there's 315 of you that actually tune in and watch this stuff. So thank you. I look forward to growing with all of you guys. I look forward to seeing your stuff. Anybody out there who's in the subscriber network, or if you're just tuning in for the first time, this is the first or second video you've seen of mine, throw it in the comments. Say, hey, I want to collab. Let's do a project. And let's hop on a Zoom call. Let's talk about it. I'm going to go hit the bricks. I got to edit this tomorrow. I've got a bunch of things going on. Stay tuned. There's going to be more things coming. And thank you so much for watching tonight. I hope you have an awesome night. Take it easy.